Elon Musk is getting into another Twitter war, but this time I kind of like it. Before that, I wasn't a fan. I called him out a few times. This one was actually about him calling out and really trolling Wall Street Journal. And when I mentioned that, maybe he can spend time, his time a little bit wiser, he replied to me and kind of even agreed. But anyway, and overall, as you know, I just did a video, about a week ago with Eli Burton, that I think the biggest upgrade this year that we're getting from Tesla is actually Elon himself. We are getting Elon 3.0 version, and I like it. It's kind of like going back to, I think, what he was maybe a few years ago, but, in a more advanced setting here. Anyway, so it all started when this guy, David Einhorn, who works for Greenlight Capital, and they're big Tesla shorts. I'm gonna assume they don't make that much money because they cannot even afford a decent Twitter header. Who has a black Twitter? Anyway, so, well, you know what? I should actually go back. What it really started is when somehow, for some reason, we allowed stock to be shorted. I don't do stock market, but I don't understand that the whole concept of shorting stock goes against the concept of the stock market, where everybody should be investing into, the domestic companies, and everyone should be making money, and the economy should grow. But this is completely different. So I just don't understand why we're doing it. But anyway, so we're doing it. This guy is actually one of the biggest shorts out there, and Tesla is by far, I think, by triple to the second place, the most shorted stock in the US. And I mean, you can argue that there's some reasons and some pros and cons, but anyway, so this guy actually posted what it was back in August, this pictures of basically Elon sending him shorts and saying, I want to thank Elon Musk for the shorts. He is a man of his word. They did come with some manufacturing defects. I gotta say, kind of funny, and this was kind of back and forth back then, and Elon replied with put them on and post a selfie, which I also thought was kind of funny. But that kind of died out until Greenlight Capital posted this in their newsletter, and they said the documents in Tesla's Solar City litigation and sealed in September showed that Elon Musk knowingly orchestrated, and this is the burn coming up right here, a significant fraud by arranging the $2.6 billion acquisition at a time when Solar City was insolvent. Now, he might have a point because it does look like it might have happened this way. I'm sure there are caveats and stuff like that, and I will make a separate video about that once everything's settled down. But basically, they called it out as, you should short Tesla. I don't really see a connection here in terms of why people should be shorting Tesla, because obviously this did not affect the stock that much, but nevertheless. So Elon wrote a letter back, and this is public letter that he posted on his Twitter account, which started with Dear Mr. Unicorn, fabulous name, by the way. Okay, I gotta say that was kind of funny, but this is the next one. The quote I'm going to show you is actually where the good stuff is. Before that, of course, before I forget, also, because this story is awesome, a reminder that this video and this channel is sponsored by Byton. Check out their all-electric M-Byte coming to the US, coming to Europe. You should really, if you have not yet for some reason, reserve one before the line gets way too long. It costs absolutely $0, €0 to reserve one, about a minute of your time. So if you haven't done that, go to the description of this video and reserve your Byton today, just like myself and over 50,000 other people. All right. So here's what Elon said as a reply to David Einhorn's newsletter, or corporate letter, whatever you want to call it. So he said, to the extent that you have any desire to learn about the amazing progress the people of Tesla are making, I would like to extend an open invitation to meet with me to discuss Tesla and tour our facility. Now, this is what I really like, because yes, they're going back and forth and they're living kind of on the opposite sides of the world, I guess, and the view of what Tesla is all about. But this is kind of a bridging a gap, right? He's saying, listen, you can do your thing, but at least come out and check it out. So maybe you can change, you don't have to change your mind, but at least you'll be more educated on what's happening here at Tesla. And I like that. Now, he finishes the letter saying, finally, please allow us to send you a small gift of short shorts to help you through this difficult time. Regards, Elon Musk. All right, and by just in case if you don't know why it's Elon Musk, is because Elon just donated 1 million trees to Mr. Beast, that's one of the biggest YouTubers. A cause that I think he's raising 10 million trees planted. So anyway, this is still kind of a little zing, but listen, this is an open invitation. I think we're in a completely different universe now. And by the way, the Tesla stock has been doing really, really good. This is the last 6 months. Look, I mean, as we all know, especially because of the Q3 report, it's doing very well. Now, in the reply, so now they reply to Elon. They also mentioned this website. I've never heard of it, but I guess it's called Elon Musk Today. So Elon Musk Today, and it tracks all of the promises that he made, and then says how many days have passed since that promise. Like you see, just deleted my Twitter account, 146 days. You know what? It's kind of interesting. I might bookmark it just because to go back and reference. But anyway, so let's dive into the letter that he sent back. And he basically actually, it's also, it's kind of a taking swipe at Elon, but at the same time, says, we welcome your offer to let us learn more about Tesla and we'll take you up on it. That is awesome. Right? So now, hopefully they'll meet. And maybe this is the beginning of the beautiful friendship, or at least, and by the way, others are watching too, right? So maybe this is the way to fight the Tesla shorts, right? Is by basically showcasing why they will probably wrong long term. Though they've done well for themselves in the last couple of years, but I think, the tides are turning. All right, so let's go further. This letter said, we certainly are capable of making mistakes, and if we said anything false, we will correct it for the record. And, Elon Musk basically was saying, listen, there's a lot of false statements in your newsletter, and they're saying, listen, tell us what it is, and we'll correct it. So, which is, noble. All right, let's move forward. And now he says, our businesses have some similarities and some differences. We both struggled last year. However, a key difference is that Greenlight's business has generated real profits for our investors since we began in 1996. Now, this is an unfair swipe at him because, obviously these are two different type of businesses and business plans, right? You're an investment firm and advisory and stuff like that. And this is a growing company. Would you... Look, I can always give you an example of Amazon, right? They were losing money for a long, long time because they were building the empire, and now they have the empire. We're living it, right? So I think this is a little bit unfair, but let's move forward. He basically also says, I think facility visits would be fun. Can we start in Buffalo? I might learn the difference between your alien dreadnought factory and cars made by hand in a tent. Now, I think here she's going a little bit too far because, listen, if you're accepting the invitation, you're going to meet the guy. Okay, you took already a swipe at him. This is a little too far, I would say, but all right. And then he also says, I truly appreciate your offer to build a direct communication so we can learn more about Tesla. Please advise on how we should go about scheduling, and have a nice weekend. Okay. So, a bit of a olive branch there. And he also basically said that they were trying to reach Tesla's investor relations department for a while, and they just couldn't do it because they weren't replying. I do have to say, as a journalist, as a YouTuber, whatever you want to call me, is that I've had the hardest time, and I know quite a few other journalists dealing with Tesla, unlike any other company, whether another startup or another legacy manufacturer, just not nice people. Definitely very hard to work with. As a matter of fact, the pickup truck unveiling is coming up, and once again, Tesla will probably be the only company that ever denied me a press pass for an electric car unveiling. So it is what it is. But here's the reason I think this is good stuff, right? This is different, Elon. One thing, you're going back and forth like kids on Twitter, yes, it's entertaining, but at the end of the day, if you're just being kids and you're this businessman, it doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help consumers, doesn't help investors. But here, I think this is a completely different thing, and this is why I'm enjoying Elon 3.0, or excuse me, Trilon 3.0, and because now these guys gonna meet face to face, right? It's easy to hate somebody or take swipes at the guy who you haven't met personally or don't have any type of a relationship or whatever. I hope they actually develop something there, and maybe Elon will convince them to, and educate them, right? And Don't really have to convince them. It's all about math, and but maybe they will take a different stand on it, and maybe people around this little sort of a fight that's going on will also slow down and say, hey, maybe I shouldn't be shorting Tesla. Maybe they are turning the corner. Maybe they're the company that's going to be profitable and so forth. But at the end of the day, I don't think shorting should be illegal at all. So, by the way, let me know in the comment section if you agree. And especially if you're my Patreon. By the way, welcome, John Bryan, one of my newer Patreons. That's where you get to watch me live. I'm actually streaming live right now, and it's 1:30 in the morning. But I will repost it tomorrow on YouTube. But if you just want to watch me live right now, just like John Bryan is going to be able to. And by the way, support me as an independent YouTuber who does this full time. And thank you for helping me put, basically to eat and buy groceries and pay rent. So I really, really appreciate it. Don't forget to get on our VIP list also. That's when we send you bonus stories at the end of each week. Just a story that is awesome, but we didn't have time or space on this channel or e4electric.com website. You can go e4electric.com/VIP and sign up for that for free as well. All right, looking forward to your comments. Other than that, see you guys next time, and remember to stay charged.